Okay, so welcome to the video and Merry Christmas. Today is the 24th of December, so Christmas Eve. But every day I start the morning by weighing myself, so let's see what we are dealing with. Wow, so basically 13.2%, 72.6, 45.5% muscle. So that's basically the lowest in terms of fat and weight, I think, since June for me, basically, before summer. So the question is, how can you maintain that during the holiday season? Let's find out.
So first of all, you want to make sure you're hydrated. So first, always start the morning with a big glass of water. Then my favorite part, which is to make the coffee. So besides the fact that I love coffee, one reason that I drink a lot of coffee and water is in the morning is to make sure that you feel full, because basically the stomach reacts to how much volume you have in your stomach. So if you do intermittent fasting, which I do, is basically you're skipping either breakfast or dinner. So basically I am pushing my first meal later into the day around noon, and then I know I'm gonna have a really big dinner, but then I can eat more instead of eating 3 times, because the risk is you eat too much. You can either do that, so I skip dinner, or most people probably skip breakfast. So in the meantime, you just drink other liquids like coffee or water, and then you feel less hungry basically. So that is the first hack. You always make sure you are hydrated. You can drink a coffee or tea, and also to weigh yourself every day to keep track on your progress. Okay, so now let's get to the food. So the key to not gaining weight is to make sure you don't eat too many calories. And of course, for most people, including myself, counting calories sounds crazy and too cumbersome, and that's nothing I ever want to do. So the thing is, if you do intermittent fasting, at least you only eat two meals, so the likelihood of eating too much is lower, but you probably still don't know how much you actually eat in terms of calories if you don't measure it. But one thing you can do at least is make sure you have good food. Because I went grocery shopping yesterday, so I have a lot of stuff here actually. But for today, basically I'm gonna have some spinach, baby leaf spinach first, extremely low in calories. It actually says here 19 calories per 100 grams. So basically we're gonna fill up the base of the breakfast or lunch, however you want to call it, with this. Now I have some other good stuff here. Mushrooms, very low in calories. And then we have tomatoes. And then the king of them all, or the queen perhaps, the cottage cheese. This is such an unknown and invaluable gem. 380 something kilos, I'm not sure exactly how much that is. Okay, so sorry, my bad. Apparently 355 kilojoule is 85 calories. So that's basically how I do it. Google everything. So basically we're comparing that one, 85 compared with Greek yogurt. This one is also a really favorite of mine. Basically this one is 56 calories per 100 gram. So this is not for the same type of dish, but if you basically have cottage cheese or Greek yogurt in a lot of meals, that's a very, very good start. Then we have another secret, the eggs. So these are a bit fancy, I have to admit, organic. I don't normally buy that, but they are very nice for you. Okay, so the coffee or the water is boiling in the background. But basically with eggs, one key is to make sure you only eat the egg whites, because the egg in itself has some fat, and that has a lot of calories. So it's basically cut out the egg yolk and have egg whites. You can almost have 3 times as much protein in an egg for the same calories. Okay, so you can find everything on Google, but basically one egg is 78 calories. Then we can just Google this instead. 1 egg protein, okay, 6 grams. It's not gonna be perfect, but okay, roughly 6 grams for 1 egg. Okay, then we compare that. We know 1 egg was 78 calories. 1 egg white is 17 calories. And we remember 1 whole egg was 6 grams of protein, so let's see how much this has. But basically, if you have 2 whole eggs, you get roughly 12 grams of protein, and then you have 160 calories. If you have 2 egg whites, you get roughly 8 grams of protein, but only 34 calories. So that basically means if you have 2 whole eggs, you get 12 grams of protein, but you have 160 calories. But with 3 egg whites, you basically also get 12 grams of protein roughly, but you only have 45 calories. So instead of basically having 140, you have 45, so almost half. So that is a very good decision. So with that in mind, basically instead of having, let's say, 4 eggs, I'm basically gonna have 6 egg whites instead. And then we get the same protein amount, but a lot less calories. So let's get this party started. Maybe I should add, of course, this also looks a little bit crazy, like what, you can have 6 eggs, but yeah, when you have 6 egg whites, it's not that much volume-wise, but actually it expands when you fry it, so you get really full and satiated. It's actually super good for you. And also all the cholesterol is in the egg yolk, so basically there's no problem at all to just eat a lot of egg whites. Another thing you can do is if you want to replace milk, you can have coconut milk instead. It has a lot less calories. And also instead of having like a lot of chocolate and syrup and stuff, you can have these ones, the low calorie options like Walden Farms. Of course a little bit artificial, but basically you can have a lot of that with no calories. And also in terms of other sauces, actually to have like chili sauces, basically no calories, no sugar. So don't have like barbecue sauces or fatty like sesame seed stuff or like oils. Avoid that and go for these ones instead. Okay, so next up we gotta crack the eggs here. Okay, so now we have the egg whites here. Now I'm just gonna mix in a bunch of different spices. It can be a little cayenne, it can be pepper, it can be garlic, up to you. And then we're just gonna fry it up. So mixing a lot of different things. One that's perhaps a little bit weird is to have curry, but I actually like this one. It's nice to put on. Just make sure you don't have too much. A bit of onion and some Creolean spice. And I'm gonna have salt and pepper on actually in the end when I eat it, so I don't add that right now. Good, then we have our spice mix ready to go here. That looks pretty nice, right? So next up we're gonna add in the spinach here, and then I'm gonna cut up the vegetables, but I'm gonna put just the base inside here and weigh it up for you guys. That is looking real nice, and it actually has, you know, a lot of volume inside. So I'm gonna put the egg and the vegetables on top of this. It's actually a really big meal, but basically almost no calories. Okay, so it's time to cut up the vegetables, and these I know are not the freshest. They've been in the fridge a bit too long, but definitely good anyway, and definitely not dangerous. So let's go. Okay, we got the mushroom ready. Now let's cut the tomato. Okay, so now we have this. We're just gonna put it in the frying pan. So what you also want to do is to avoid having too much butter or oil in your cooking. So I have this one, it's like kind of a spray one. So basically with one spray, you get only like, I don't know, a few calories like this. That's a good way. Sorry for the dirty parts here, it's hard to get away. Let's get it fired up. This smells really nice. It's gonna be a very nice lightweight to start the day. Just add in the eggs so this get a little bit more fried. Okay, so I think this is looking ready to add in the eggs. Let's do it quickly. I already mixed them up before, so to stir everything around so it doesn't get burned. So this of course is more kind of like a scrambled version or something, I don't know what to call it. Almost like a wok with vegetables. So maybe it doesn't look as pretty, but it's a lot of volume, it's a lot of good stuff, nutritious, and a lot of protein, and that's exactly what I want. Okay, this is basically ready, so I'm gonna put this on top of spinach now. Okay, perhaps not the prettiest dish in the world, but looks pretty nice. I'm gonna add some cottage cheese and then some chili, and let's eat. So let's add on this. Ooh, this is a lot of good stuff. Something like that. Okay, that's 160 grams. Great. Okay, so I actually had this lying around, some organic, very nice thyme. So I'm gonna put this on top and let's get going. Okay, lastly but not least, we're gonna have some pink Himalayan rock salt, and then we're also gonna have some pepper. And then we are ready to dig in. Okay, so it seems that we have our first meal of this Christmas Eve 2020 ready. So let's go into the living room and dig in. Okay, so I'm gonna spice it up a little bit, adding some of this sriracha sauce. Not as pretty, but makes you feel a little bit fuller actually. Let's dig in. Okay, let's try it. Oh, that is juicy. Cottage cheese goes so well with the chili and the eggs. Nice, you have this sort of layer underneath with all the spinach. A lot of volume, makes you get full. So I'm gonna put the calories here on the screen, but it's not gonna be a lot. Then we're gonna go to the next step, which is to do cardio. So I'm gonna try to always get 10K steps a day in. Don't always make it, but at least then you have probably like 300 to 500 calories burned that you reduce from your total calories you can eat. And since I know tonight is gonna be pretty crazy with the food, I wanna get those steps in. So I'm gonna go out, show you some pictures and show you in the background, and then we're ready. So if you try to lose weight or just maintain weight, in this case when it's a holiday season, you know you're gonna eat a lot. So the easiest is probably to reduce the other meals you're having or cut them out. So basically I'm always doing intermittent fasting, so I'm basically never eating dinner if it's not a special occasion. So I can say today is basically a special occasion, so I will have dinner, but then I'm only gonna have this meal today, so I only have 2 meals in total. So that's a bit unusual for some people, but you can try it. Then you're probably gonna cut out like 500 to 1,000 calories from that meal that you can have on the other one, which probably will happen if you have a lot of sauce and stuff like that. Then just in general, cut out like pasta, rice, bread. I have maybe like 1 or 2 slices of bread sometimes for breakfast, but then I basically have no carbs the rest of the day. And then go for really big volume meals with low calories. So basically salad as a base, and then like egg whites and stuff like this, vegetables on top, very low in calories. And that's basically a very good way in general to maintain a healthy diet and make sure you don't gain weight. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video.